Now, let me continue by explaining why walking for 43 minutes is good for your body. The second reason is that the oil in the joints starts to come out after 30 minutes. To explain this, let me first explain the structure of a joint. This is the structure of a joint. Whether it's a knee, shoulder, neck, or lower back joint, you can imagine that they all have the same shape. Basically, there is an upper bone and a lower bone, and a bag that encases them, and the part where the bones touch is made of cartilage. And the inside of that bag is filled with water. That's how it's structured. But back to the main topic. Why should you walk for 43 minutes? It's because if you walk for more than 30 minutes, oil will come out of your joints. Where does it come out from? It comes out from this synovial membrane. If you swing your arms in the correct posture and keep walking for 30 minutes, it will come out. And what happens to the oil that comes out next? It soaks into the cartilage of the joint. Cartilage in joints is shaped like a sponge, and it takes about 13 minutes for the oil to soak in and become accustomed to the whole body. This is why you should walk for 43 minutes straight. When you walk for 43 minutes and the oil is released, your body's performance improves dramatically. Your body becomes easier to move. It's like you're oiling all the joints in your body. So it's very important to create this state every day. If you oil your joints yourself, you don't need to get hyaluronic acid injections at the hospital. So why do we need oil in the first place? It's to prevent friction between joints. If there is friction, the cartilage inside will be worn away. For example, if it's the knee, it will cause osteoarthritis, and if it's the lower back, it will cause lumbar spondylosis or spinal stenosis. But the point is that bone deformation occurs due to friction. To prevent this, you need to release oil. This oil also plays a role in regenerating cartilage. That's why walking is good for your body. By the way, the coefficient of friction of a normal joint is said to be about 0.001 to 0.0056. If it were metal, it would be 0.1 or 0.8. So, no matter how much the technology of artificial joints is said to have improved, it is still about 60 times different from the real thing. The coefficient of friction of an ice rink is about 0.006. This means that human joints slide better than skating on an ice rink. However, this is for normal people. If you can always create this state, don't you feel like you can move smoothly and in good condition? Therefore, it is very important to walk for 43 minutes every day as much as possible and make a habit of oiling your joints. This is the second reason, because the oil in the joints starts to come out after about 30 minutes. Finally, the third reason, walking improves the flow of cerebrospinal fluid. You might be thinking, hey Shirai, surely cerebrospinal fluid has nothing to do with walking, right? But I will explain it so that everyone can understand. First of all, the brain and spinal cord are called the central nervous system. And because the central nervous system is very important and cannot be damaged, it is contained within the bone. So the brain is inside the skull, and the spinal nerves are inside the spine. Furthermore, each is surrounded by water. This water is called cerebrospinal fluid. Let's go back a little. In the topic of reason number 2, oil is released from the joints. I said that oil is produced in all the joints throughout the body. Then, the movement of the joints in the spine and pelvis around here also improves. This improves the flow of cerebrospinal fluid. What role does this cerebrospinal fluid play in the body? One is to flush out waste products from the brain, and the other is to provide nutrients for the brain and spinal nerves. If this cerebrospinal fluid was stagnant, don't you think it would cause all kinds of bad symptoms in the body? The internal organs also function by receiving commands from the autonomic nervous system. So if the autonomic nervous system receives such rotten water, it cannot receive nutrients. Then the internal organs cannot function properly. In our bodies, a cycle of constantly producing new water and discarding old water occurs. In this way, nutrients are distributed to the brain and spinal nerves, which has a positive effect on the autonomic nervous system and internal organs. This is the explanation of the third reason, improving the flow of cerebrospinal fluid. Let me summarize. In conclusion, walking for 43 minutes straight is good for the body. There are 4 conditions for walking. If you ask why walking improves lower back pain, the first reason is that it heals bone deformations. Simply put, your body releases oil from your joints, putting them in good condition. This improves the deformation and prevents it from occurring. The other reason is that the flow of cerebrospinal fluid improves the environment of the brain and spinal nerves, making it easier for them to work. What did you all think of today's talk? Have you changed your initial negative mindset and thought, "I'll try walking from tomorrow"? Please try walking and get healthy. This is the end of today's video. Thank you very much.